Hey folks, welcome back to the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Friday, September 25th. So first and foremost, happy Friday. Hope everyone had a great day today. In today's video, we're going to discuss the hourly uptrends that were confirmed on SPY and QQQ. And we'll look at a few news and events, and we'll do some charts and analysis and some trade reviews. But before we jump into the content, smash the like if you enjoyed this video and consider subscribing. So taking a look at the first news event was the Canadian social restrictions. So we saw that Ontario and Quebec are clamping down. So Ontario imposed a bunch of new restrictions on restaurants and bars, and Quebec, you can see, is starting to basically clamp down on big social gatherings. So not great. The United States, I think it was over 45,000 cases today that they reported. Anyway, it's not good. It's not looking good whatsoever. And going into the weekend, I did swing some SPXS and some SQQQ, and we'll go over those in just a second. But I also did have a couple of day trades with JE, Just Energy Corporation, and one was a good trade. I had a flip on SQQQ today as well. I took a loss on that, and so I had two bad trades today. And like I said, I didn't swing anything overnight last night. I was basically all cash except for my MJ. I did add to a couple MJ positions today to Canopy, Hexo, and CWeb. And I also bought a little bit more BAM. But taking a look at going in, like I said, I didn't hold anything going over into the day today, overnight last night, because I expected a bounce. And that's what we got. We saw a huge bounce on the indexes, and we'll just do a quick trade review. So I was looking at JE, and I always confuse that with GE, but I was looking at JE for a flip. You can see here we had this falling wedge pattern, and what a huge move and volatility we're seeing in this name. It was down here at 21 cents. It rocketed almost 300%. And then just today we were down 54% at one point. So I had a member actually ask me about this morning. I said I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but maybe for hourly oversold or first 15 5-minute oversold. So I was looking for that first 5-minute oversold, and we saw the falling wedge break and an inverse head and shoulders. So I entered around the 42, 43 cent, and I exited one position at 47. But I re-entered again here, and that's when I took a loss when we went to the new low of the day. So basically, a half day maker loss on that one. Wasn't the end of the world. Definitely should have just not have been greedy and cut it out right there whenever I was in profit, because like I said, my strategy has been be conservative on the way up. So right now we're in a daily downtrend on SPY. So be conservative on the way up and aggressive on the way down. So we're in a daily downtrend still on SPY. You can see here we had some 5-minute bearish or bullish RSI divergence as well, and we were breaking out on that pennant there. So it gave me more confidence to enter. So that was a trade setup on JE. And taking a look at the indices, so like I said, I did swing some SPXS and SQQQ overnight. So taking a look at the indices, so we knew to be looking today for hourly trend changes to be confident in the daily higher lows, but we're still in a daily downtrend. So we're just going to be looking for daily lower highs, and that's why I shorted into the weekend and swung that position, was because of the size of the bounce. We can probably just anticipate a lower high and then form a higher low. So bulls definitely have a lot of room to form a higher low and attempt a daily trend change. So if it would look something like this, that would be a daily higher low and higher high for a confirmed daily trend change. So that's what I'm looking to do is short here and load up on and cover on a daily higher low. So we'll see. We may go up a little bit more. If we do, I will short again on Monday. And like I said, hopefully hit that daily lower high, and then I would like to see us break the high of today first thing on Monday to be confident that the bulls still got it. And we'll keep an eye on that going into the weekend. And I did say that we were expecting stimulus and some hype around that. So that's why we had such a big bounce, in my opinion, today. And taking a look, we broke the highs of yesterday. So once we broke the highs of yesterday, we knew the daily bounce was underway. And we also, as soon as we broke 326.78 on SPY, we had our hourly uptrend confirmed, but we haven't formed an hourly high or low since way down here at 321.64. So again, another reason why, another thing that I added to my criteria for shorting. And like I said, most likely scenario would be an hourly high or low. And like I said, as long as we're in an hourly uptrend, there's no daily consolidation. So we'll be watching the hourly trend as our guide. Taking a look at SPY into the end of the day. So we did have quite a bit of a pretty good sell-off. We had a rising wedge here on SPY and QQQ into the end of the day. It broke bull, and then we pulled back pretty significantly, but we didn't confirm a 5-minute downtrend, so we're holding that. So it could potentially just be looking for a 5-minute higher low, but we'll keep an eye on SPY. And another reason why I was able to swing and comfortably do it was the weekly chart is still super bearish. So you can see here that the MACD is crossing, the stochastics crossed, and we're still below the 10-week moving average at 333.41. And same with QQQ. QQQ's 10-week moving average was 272.83. We're crossed on both indicators here, and we're still below the 10-week moving average. On SPY, we closed below the 50-day moving average as well. And on QQQ, 273.32. So yeah, we closed below that as well. So that, in my opinion, is bearish. And we'll have to see what the weekend and the beginning of the week. So it looks like we're bouncing a little bit here after hours. And another reason why I expected things to bounce today, looking at the dollar index, we did have a 4-hour, so we were trending up. We did have 4-hour bearish RSI divergence here. So we were trending up in the price, and we had this downward sloping resistance line on the RSI. So again, probably see some consolidation. I knew we were going to see some consolidation, break into new highs, and that's exactly what we got. So could be a potential 4-hour bull flag here on DXY as well. And we'll see, we don't have any resistance on DXY on the daily way up until the 96, mid 96 range. So bulls could still potentially get a decent bounce underway. We could still potentially bounce another 2% before a significant pullback, in my opinion. But I did enter an SQQQ trade this morning, and I was entering it. Let me just see here. It was on QQQ. Yeah, so I did enter on the low of the day. I went to enter, but it held. So I thought we were going to flush that low of the day here. And that's whenever I exited for a small loss, but barely lost anything on that. It was only a few pennies, like 10 cents, I think. So it wasn't a huge loss, but definitely choppy trading today. And let's see if we're able to potentially set our daily lower highs and continue down with the daily downtrend. There's something else as well. So one thing I keep an eye on in the community is the sentiment of the articles that I'm seeing. So we have automatic feeds pull in, so you don't really have to check news websites. You can just check directly in here, and you get notified of any updates that that it pulls down automatically. But I'm starting to see a lot of bearish signs in the market. So it seems like they're trying to instill fear right now. And let's just take a look at the fear and greed index to see what we're at on that. I think it was at like 45, so 49 now. So we're still leaning towards fear. And like I said, with the provinces, Ontario and Quebec shutting down and imposing new restrictions, it's certainly adding to that element of fear. And I potentially think there's a lot more downside. And I'm prepared to hold these short positions for days or weeks plus, as I think that, like I said, we're overextended. I personally don't feel comfortable going long. Let me know in the comments below if you are if you're bullish or you're bearish, if you're in any long positions. Tell me what you're looking at. I'd be curious to hear from you. And we did have, going into the end of the day, we did have on QQQ, we had a 5-minute bull flag, and we just slow grinded up. I was expecting a flush. We did see quite a bit of sell volume come into the end of the day. So, and we did see some ascending triangles on QQQ. So you can see here we had an ascending triangle that broke bull. And I believe there was one on Apple as well. Yeah, there's one back here. So you can see there was an ascending triangle that broke bull. I called that out in the chat room and gave people a lot of a big heads up. And basically I had a couple people asking if they should short right around here when we were breaking the high of the day of yesterday and on QQQ. And I basically said, no, wait, because SPY is still yet to get there. I think it could lag and we could potentially see, and that's exactly what happened into the end of the day. And like I said, another rising wedge on QQQ. But what I think they did today was they targeted Apple, because you can see that Amazon 2%, 3%, so the $1 trillion club. Tesla was up 5%, closed near the high of the day. Could be a potential cup and handle here forming on the 5-minute. So bulls are back. We'll see if they can continue the momentum into, but we did close under the daily EMA 12 resistance on Tesla. Apple closed just above. So we're sitting at 111.98. We closed at 112.29. So we did close above that, but anything under the high of 112.86 is just a daily lower high. So again, bulls could potentially change the trend if we break the high of 112.86. Today we hit a high of 112.44. So again, another red flag for me, but we did close. That's an extremely bullish candle on the daily. But again, we rejected there essentially, and maybe we need to form a daily higher low again, and then a higher high. We'll see. Again, the high of today on Monday will be very, very important on Apple. But I definitely think they were targeting Apple today, as it has the most weight in SPY and QQQ of the big tech names. And we'll be also looking to see if we break the high of this week, which is 112.86. If we break the high of 112.86 and change the daily trend, then we can be confident that the weekly high or low is set and that the weekly bounce is underway. Gold and silver still basically range bound. Same with oil. I'm not going to go into those. XLV, XLF, XBI. There's not really much to report there, so I'll skip those. I did the Apple and Tesla review. So again, we could see some stimulus talks next week, but what I would anticipate is, like I said, a daily lower high, some consolidation into the beginning of the week, and then maybe some more rhetoric and narrative around the stimulus talks. But that'll certainly be a bull catalyst going into next week. And we'll keep tabs on the pandemic and everything that's happening new with that. So thanks again for joining us. It's Rod with Powell Group. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend and get some rest. So thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you on Monday.